So good afternoon. This is my second attempt at making a kimchi pancake. The first recipe was from the Times. This is another recipe from a Korean chef, So Cho. Anyway, this and the first recipe have something in common. They ask you to flip the pancake. That's almost impossible in a home setting. The last time I used a cast iron skillet. And I've been making no-flip frittatas for years. And so I'm going to try to make a no-flip kimchi pancake. Also, this one has a half a cup of pork butt. And I'm not going to include that, of course. And let's see what goes on here. So we started out with a half a cup of all-purpose flour and half a cup of potato starch. I just used 1 cup of the Korean pancake mix you can find in a Korean supermarket. A third of a cup of kimchi juice and a third of a cup of water. What's this here? Then a quarter teaspoon of garlic, quarter teaspoon of sesame oil, 1 egg, and 1 cup of kimchi. I'm using powdered garlic. That was about a half a teaspoon. That was about what? A half a teaspoon? I don't know if it's about right. Calls for 1 egg. I'm going to use egg whites. Three tablespoons of egg whites is approximately 1 egg. I'm going to leave it out here just in case I need a little bit more liquid. I might just add water. 1/4 of an onion. I'm going to use scallions instead of onions. 2 scallions, so that's going to substitute for the onion. Then the half a cup of pork butt, which I'm not using. And got to add the kimchi, 1 cup of kimchi. So I chopped the kimchi into smaller pieces. They're about 1 inch square, so just make it easy to mix. Calls for salt to taste. I don't think I'm going to add any salt. There's plenty of salt in the, at least it tastes like salt. I'm also going to add this Korean hot peppers here from, I buy prepared tofu and prepared pollock from the Korean supermarket, so it comes with a lot of hot peppers. So I'm incorporating some of that in the mixture. So I've been heating up this large pan. It's about a 12-inch frying pan with sesame oil and olive oil to cover the bottom. And I'll be adding the mixture to that. So it calls for cooking it on high heat for a couple of minutes. This is fairly thick. I'm not sure about... let's see. So the directions are: heat the frying pan for about 15 seconds at high heat, add vegetable oil, make sure it's spread evenly through the pan. Evenly spread the pancake mixture on the frying pan with a ladle, make the perfect circle shape. Cook the pancake mixture on a high heat for 1 to 2 minutes until lightly brown, which is what I'm doing now. Then I'm going to depart from flipping over the mixture with a spatula, push it down so it evenly spreads with even thickness. It's ridiculous. I mean, flipping a frittata, flipping a kimchi pancake, what's the point? You can't flip this. I mean, you know, like maybe in a restaurant where they use like low torch heat, the bottom of this might be firm enough to flip this, but really, what kind of spatula would you have to use to flip this. I tried it with the first time with the Times recipe, same thing. It was a disaster. I finally, in frustration, cut it in half and then flipped the halves. So the bottom looks like the edges are brown, so I'm going to put it now under the broiler. My broiler has a high heat and a low heat setting. We're going to start out with the high heat. Okay, so it's in here now for 15 minutes on a high setting, as you can see. So it spent about 5 minutes under the high broiler, and then I turned it to the low broiler. I spent another 4 minutes, and you can see the top is dry. So I might just put it back. The edges are a little burnt, so I may have overdone it when I first put the batter in the stove, in the pan on top of the stove. It was a high setting, a high heat that they recommended, so might modify that next time. So I'm going to put this back for just a couple more minutes. So there's the completed kimchi pancake. It's ready to eat. So this recommended you make a dipping sauce with soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. But there's so much salt in 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. So I think if I was going to make a dipping sauce, I would just make it with rice vinegar and you're supposed to put the scallions in the dipping sauce, but and also just sesame seeds also supposed to go in the dipping sauce. So instead I'm just putting it right on top of the pancake and then garnishing it with these scallions. And when this cools a bit, I'm going to be cutting it into wedges. Just a little bit Korean red pepper powder. So here's 1 slice of the kimchi pancake, or pajun, kimchi pajun. That's great. It's cooked through. No need to flip it. And enjoy.